Irelia or the Lee Sin for
Those 3-man shockwaves.
yes, 3-man shockwaves, 4-man shockwaves, all that good stuff for J2 Esports Betrayal. Alright, you can see right now we are game 2. This is the ban and pick phase for the teams. Alright, you can see right now that Cho'Gath and Nor have been banned by J2 and Pacific Esports banning out the Irelia and Yasuo. So now Pacific Esports respecting Ruins Irelia.
Definitely. We did see earlier that when he went up against Aatrox, I mean, I want to talk about that Aatrox pick actually because that was quite a risky pick. He actually did pick Aatrox sometime before in the previous PGS weeks, but in the previous game we did see that Irelia definitely dominated that top lane and Aatrox really became ineffective. So I think that we were discussing earlier that Pacific really needs to think about their pick and ban phase, especially with the first game. It was a pretty much one-sided game earlier, so
Yes.
Pacific really needs to up their pick and ban phase this time.
But actually, it wasn't actually a one-sided game early on.
Yeah,
Actually, it was that Oni and Lusteria were actually winning their lanes, mid and bot. But then J2 just got Ruin snowballing in the top lane, and he just went in, killed Nids all throughout the game, got the split push, and then he just got fat enough that in the clashes he was actually very hard to kill. And then yeah, J2 got to snowball off of that.
yeah. Ooh, actually, I think this is the first time we're seeing a Nocturne in
Actually,
the PGS.
No, actually, I believe it was yesterday.
Oh,
The Twisted
right.
Fate and Nocturne combo.
Yeah,
Alright, so it was actually a
should be
very good
interesting.
composition. So actually, Pacific Esports might do that composition right now because Paranoia blinds the enemy and then Twisted Fate gives that Destiny for the full vision. So that's a very
global composition.
the semi-global composition might be used by Pacific Esports. As for J2 Betrayal, they're going again for the ball delivery system
Yes.
with the Orianna, and of course, even though if it's not the Lee Sin, we have a Jarvan who has somewhat similar mechanics.
Yeah.
Now, for example, he can go with the flag and drag, then the Cataclysm, and then the follow-up ball.
Yes.
That's a lot of CC.
Yeah, again, another pretty great team fight composition coming from Betrayal, and I'm not surprised they went, or that Zone went with Orianna earlier, especially considering his performance earlier. All of the shockwaves are so on point, and we really have to commend J2 for their performance earlier, especially Zone in
Yes.
that mid lane performance.
As now, Pacific Esports only hovering over the Ari. So even though we don't have that Twisted Fate in the mid lane, it's actually a semi-dive a very heavy dive composition for
Yes.
Pacific Esports. We have the Zenith Blade coming in from the Leona, the Paranoia from the Nocturne, and then Spirit Rush from the Ari, and ooh, a Malphite. So unstoppable force. All of these, how they say this, the dash in
Yeah.
team, the dash in team.
Yeah, and this is really interesting because there's so much assassination potential now coming in from Pacific Esports. It seems like they're going for a more focused team synergy here because in the first game we saw that their picks were a little bit diverse, but they didn't really complement one another. But
Yes,
this
true.
time we have a Malphite, Leona, Nocturne, and Ari. These four in themselves, even without the fifth pick yet, already so much dive potential here. So really interesting to see how they'll play this one out.
Yeah, actually, I'm predicting the ADR might be a Kog'Maw. I'm not sure. It's just say backline champion that they need if they want someone to hit hard. Because Nocturne, Kog'Maw is that very hard hitter ADR later on. As for J2 Betrayal, they did get again for Sync the Tristana and the Rumble also for Ruin. So similar compositions for J2 Betrayal. The only difference is the Jarvan and
The Rumble.
the Rumble.
Yeah. So a little bit more team fight focused composition coming in from Betrayal, and I think that was a pretty good decision as well because we saw earlier that there was really great synergy coming in from Betrayal early on in the first game. They made a lot of great decisions together. They moved together as one whenever they were going to go to Dragon. We noticed that whenever they were going to go to the bottom lane, to the Dragon, they all moved together with great synergy and decision making. So great decision for them to go with that team fight composition, but
Also,
they picked the Graves.
yeah. Also, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's what J2 Betrayal is doing right now.
Yeah,
As for Pacific Esports, of course, even though if it wasn't a Kog'Maw, the Graves is a good pick also because again, True Grit gives him that armor and magic resistance every time he gets a free hit onto an enemy champion or any kind of enemy.
yeah, it's actually a pretty good decision as well. I think they went for the Graves to shut down Tristana just a little bit earlier
Oh,
on
yes,
in the
very
game
true.
because we saw earlier that Sync and Hack earlier really played that Janna and Tristana combo really well. They were able to withstand the early game coming in from Caitlyn, we know that Caitlyn scales into mid game a little bit stronger than Tristana does, just because she's a hyper carry. But they were able to play it so well. We saw the quadra kill and everything coming in from Sync earlier. So I think Pacific is going for this dive composition so that they can shut Tristana down before she gets too strong.
Yeah, because see right now, what do you think about these two bot lane compositions from J2 Betrayal and Pacific Esports? I mean, they have the uh, dive in of the Leona for Pacific Esports, and then they have the peel for J2 Betrayal. So, what do you think would actually turn out in this matchup in the bot lane?
Well, I think it depends as well on how. I mean, we saw that, like I said earlier, we saw that Betrayal, that J2 played their bottom lane really well, but with a Leona and Graves composition here in this bottom lane, I think it's going to be a little bit riskier now for Betrayal because of that pure early game damage that even at level 1, level 2, they could pretty much take down Sync and Hack if they're not careful. So, especially as well with the Nocturne, when he hits that level 6, they better be wary of those ganks. So, this could be a little bit better composition coming in from Pacific to shut down the members of Betrayal earlier on in the game.
Yeah. All right. Also, even though, like you've said before, they do have the Leona. So let's say that Jana does use her Howling Gale to peel for Sync. Actually, if a starter gets in that good mind game style
Yeah.
that he actually uses Zenith Blade on someone like Hack, and then Hack uses the Howling Gale to try and save Sync. That's
Mm.
actually a lot of burst damage onto him, and then the Sir can just follow up.
Definitely. So yeah, like we were saying,
Yeah.
it really depends on how Pacific and Betrayal play their bottom lanes. It's really dependent on how Pacific plays those mind
Yeah.
games against Sync and Hack, and if they can shut down Tristana earlier on in the game, especially when Nocturne hits level 6, I think if they pull off a great team fight at that bottom lane, snowball into a dragon or something like that, they can take the second game.
Yeah, but actually, what I'm liking right now, I think from Team Pacific, is that they have a team fight and pick off composition. Like we said before, they have the ability to at least get someone disabled for a few moments, and then they can all follow up on that. While J2 Betrayal does have a good team fight presence composition, they don't have too much of that pick off that J Pacific has.
Yeah, but I think Betrayal can also still rise back again in this game, especially with the Jarvan Rumble combo, and
Oh, of course.
including Oriana as well. I mean, we've seen, well, at least I have seen so many successful Rumble and Jarvan duo compositions, especially when they gank at that top lane, and even in a team fight, like we said, when the flag and drag combo happens and he locks in with a Cataclysm, the Shockwave and the Equalizer will just
Follow on.
yeah, and things get really messy from there. So I think Pacific Esports here really needs to be careful with their decision making because we saw earlier in game 1 that they kind of made some questionable decisions. I mean, they went for the dragon and it turned into a really bad team fight for them. There were some calls where Batum would come in with the ult and several times the Wukong ult missed. So I think if Pacific Esports can up their decision making in this second game, they can get past that great team fight composition coming in from J2.
All right. So before anything starts, guys, again, we would like to invite
Yes.
you to the PGS Rift G Talk. It never ends, guys. The fun, excitement. It's like a team ride. All right. So again, there are pro players and other rifters positioned in that G Talk. Again, the G Talk ID is 171888811. So Amplifier, please repeat it for us.
Yeah, so the number again of PGS Rift ID is 171-88811, and we also want to encourage you guys to follow the Pro Gaming Series on Twitter and Instagram.
Instagram.
That is at PGS LOL. Do follow us there. There are a lot of pictures there, and you guys could tag us as well in your own experiences of how you go about watching the Pro Gaming Series.
Yes. So now we are into the game. Right, so to recap, we do have J2 Esports Betrayal onto the blue side. We have Ruin in the top lane Rumble, Link for the jungle, Jarvan, Zone for the mid lane, Oriana, Sync for the ADR Tristana, Hack for that Peel Queen Jana. As for Pacific Esports, they will spawn in the red side. We do have needs for that top lane Malphite, Vtoom for the jungle Nocturne, Oni for the mid lane Oriana, Luxuria for the ADR Graves, and Astarte for that Leona support.
Yes, so again, we're going to see if this is going to be a sweep from J2 or will Pacific Esports get their revenge against J2 to make it a draw and get each 1 point so far in the standing. We're also going to see if there are going to be any level 1 engages here. I mean, both teams they have pretty good level 1 engages from each side. I mean, we have
I prefer Pacific's level 1 engage, since because of course Leona's a very strong engage type of support.
Yeah, though, like I said, both have pretty strong engages at level 1. I mean, we've seen the 5-man Howling Gales before coming in from Jonas early on in the game, so that could be pretty scary. But they, like you said, they should be wary. They should be wary of that Astarte if he lands that Zenith Blade, or if he grabs the stun and flash stun someone.
Yes.
And of course, don't underestimate the charm coming in from Oni as well. So we could see. It seems actually pretty passive so far. I don't think anyone's planning to invade though.
Doesn't seem like there will be any lane swaps right now. Ooh, that's actually a nice animation from Needs. Like when he tries to recall, he's actually burrowing into the ground. That's cool. Alright, just
beautiful skin.
The little things in League of Legends that we all love. The skins.
And I think Blood Moon skins are coming out pretty soon as well.
Yes. Yeah. Also, each Blood Moon skin actually has their own respective role. For example, Thresh support, ADR Callista, Jungle Elise, who else? The top lane Shen and mid lane Akali. So if you guys want to do like a cosplay in League of Legends, you could go or the cosplay in game. You could go in for the Blood Moon team.
And you guys actually have a chance to get those skins pretty soon if you join our Watch and Win promo later.
Yeah,
I believe it's after this game. So do
500
watch out.
RP, guys.
Yes, that you could grab like 2 Blood Moon skins with that. So,
yes, very true.
Yes, watch out for the details of this game. So,
right.
Like Azurai said, no lane swaps. Actually, that's a little bit surprising. I think the bottom lane here from J2 is pretty confident that they can take the Graves Leona again, or that they can face them pretty evenly at the bottom lane.
Yeah, they're actually pretty safe if they don't try to overextend in the bot lane. So I guess I'm just going to do something like that. And also, why they didn't go in for this lane swap as well is that Ruin and Needs can't farm as well as they do in, of course, lane swaps, because that's the idea of the lane swap. But then they want to get these two top laners going because both their ultimates are very important in the game.
Very game changing.
Yes, very game changing. Thank you. Alright, you can see right now that Astarte already going in on Zenplay in onto Sick, taking a lot of damage already to below 50% HP. Hack trying to do what he can to damage Sync, but the to Lusuria, but the damage isn't there.
Yeah, like we said earlier, they really have to be wary of this early engage.
Here comes Sync.
It's
Might force the flash out of it, but here is Link for the counter engage. There's the force flash and heal out of Lusuria. Force the flash out of Start there. Nice exhaust onto Link. Will put the slow onto him, and that was I believe a successful gank coming in from J2 Esports Betrayal.
Definitely. I mean, Link only had to burn his own flash, and they did burn the flash there from both Luxuria and Astarte, and he burned his exhaust as well. So really successful counter engage there coming in from Betrayal.
Yes, but while that was happening, you can see right now that B-Tomb already is getting his blue buff. So let's again Astarte with those aggressive Zenith Blades, and Hack isn't fast enough to respond with the Howling Gales, and they are just putting the hurt again. That buckshot, the range is OP.
Like we were saying earlier, I think they're really emphasizing on my point of
aggression.
I think a 4th Zenith Blade almost came in there. They're really emphasizing on my point earlier that they want to shut down this bottom lane with a really aggressive early game composition. Yeah,
and while that was happening, Needs and Ruin are just starting to hit on each other. It's not the hit like I like you, but it's like it's the hit that I'm gonna put the damage onto you. And Ruin is actually getting the better of it just because even though if Malphite does have that passive shield, it does take a long time for it to regenerate.
Yeah, and actually Niz is at a bit of a loss at the top lane against the harass coming in from Ruin just because Ruin is not a mana-based champion.
Here comes the gank onto Oni by Link. Here comes the flash into the Unspeakable Horror onto Link. Will it be the first blood? Force the flash out of Oni, and now B-Tomb is caught out here. He doesn't have the flash. Who will get the first blood? And it will be Link getting that double buff refresh onto himself and that beautiful first blood. Yes, in favor of.
Great response.
Also, while that was happening, they got the kill onto Oni.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that was a 2 for 0 and the first blood and the double buff refresh. So very nice from J2 Esports Betrayal. There we go.
Yeah, great response coming in as well from Ruin to make that a first 2 kills.
Again, here comes
another engage.
Zenith Blade by Astarte, but that Howling Gale was actually nicely put onto Lusuria, so Hack already knows what to do. if Astarte goes in with the Zenith Blade onto his ADR, why not use the Howling Gale onto the enemy ADR and stop the follow-up aggression?
Yeah, I definitely knew that J2 was actually really confident with his bottom lane matchup. Looking at the CS, actually, Tristana is pretty much in the lead, yeah, against Graves in this bottom lane. I mean, Astarte's engaged several times, but Tristana's really focusing on getting that CS, and I think that's a little bit scary here coming in from Pacific if they can't prevent Tristana from getting that CS here. I mean, the engages won't really matter if you can't get a lead that early in the game, so they really have to pull off better engages here.
Here comes a brush gank by Link. Will they be able to get a start there? He's just backing a little bit.
Yeah, they can't see him though. There's no ward there.
They cannot see him. So this is... Oh, actually, he's just trying to recall. I guess that was just a gank before he tries to get some items back again.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually getting a longsword. So this actually might be the warrior enchantment for the Stalker's Blade. Yes, again, he got that first blood, so he did get that early gold advantage, so he can opt to go in for a more aggressive build for his jungle. We're seeing it right now. And while that's happening, Needs is taking a lot of damage again from Ruin. And Ruin uses that equalizer. There's the flash.
Oh, wow.
The fire kills him. I'm not sure how Rock can burn, baby, burn. And now B2 is getting that damaged on by Link, but here comes Oni with the Spirit Rush, and that was a 1-for-1 exchange in the top lane to the mid lane. Action everywhere in the map.
Yeah, Link,
kapoom, kapow, kapoom.
Link just went a little bit too aggressive there. He went way too much for that engage. I mean, he did have vision over Ahri in that mid lane, and she just came in to assist. So that was a little bit aggressive there coming in from Link. But I also want to talk about Malphite and Rumble in this top lane. I mean, we actually see in the itemization that Nids went for a double Doran's instead of grabbing something like a null magic mantle or something like that first.
Actually, he wanted to have that extra HP for a while just to be able to tank Ruin better, and I believe he'll get that, like you said, null magic mantles later on.
Yeah, but I think that could have been pretty risky decision from him, because we know that Rumble has really scary harass, and with Nids being a mana-based champion, that could be... Well, we did see he did get a kill against Malphite in that top lane. So
while you were talking about that, Ruin has a haunting, guys.
And that's gonna hurt him even more.
Yes, the hurt is there, guys. No, that's happening. Link is trying to get his blue buff there. Little bit of a shield coming in from Hack. And I believe he will try to go in onto Oni. Oni still has his Spirit Rush on cooldown. And while that's happening again, the clash in the top lane. Ruin against Needs. But Ruin is putting a lot of hurt with that Spitfire? Or, yes, Spitfire.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping that when Nids does hit level 6, he makes really great use of that teleport to clash at the bottom lane, hopefully, to shut down the Tristana, because like we were saying earlier in the pick and ban phase, we want them to make better team fight decisions, or decisions as a team as a whole. So if they can make great use of this dive composition, well, Batum's hitting level 6 quite soon as well, so they can make great use of that dive at the bottom lane.
Also, this is a very nice ward by J2 Betrayal. They warded the blue buff, and now they could see Pacific giving that blue by Bitum onto Oni, and also they will now know if Bitum gets at level 6, so they would actually be more aware if he's going to go in for that paranoia ganks.
Yeah, definitely great job there coming in from J2 to ward him out early, because with the semi-global
presence...
Here's
the equalizer onto Needs again. Needs putting a lot of damage onto Ruin. Yes, he gets the kill with that top tier 1 health, but Betrayal Link was there, and that was a 1-for-1 exchange. Good, great gank by Link there. And here comes the paranoia by B2. The damage onto Hack. Hack forced to use that flash away. He's taking a lot of damage, and B2 gets that kill. Forced the flash out of Sync, and Sync didn't use his heal. And I believe this might be the dragon.
This is the strategy that they need to rinse and repeat to win this second game.
Rinse and repeat.
Yes, I mean,
Scrub-a-dub-dub.
If they can continue to repeat these kinds of clashes and snowball it into different kinds of objectives, then they can really take this second game, abuse that dive composition that they have.
Reuse and abuse. Alright, so the rhymes are real.
The rhymes are real right now.
Are real. Also, Lusuria used this buckshot onto Sync, and Sync forced to use that heal to try and mitigate the damage. So, a little bit of a, I guess, good position coming in from Lusuria to try and use that, again, his buckshot.
Yeah, we can actually see that Zone is actually at quite a lead in terms of CS. against Oni right now. And
Oh, yeah.
that's actually something to point out because if Oni gets, if Zone gets a really big lead in that mid lane, she's gonna become really scary when she lands those on-point shockwaves that we saw in Game 1. So they really have to watch out and sort of shut down Zone in that mid lane before she gets snowballing.
Yes.
Otherwise, those shockwaves are really gonna hurt.
Yes, very true. But that while was happening, J2 Betrayal is actually capitalizing heavily onto Ruin in the top lane. Is actually 16 CS ahead of Needs with almost 3,500 in his net worth compared to Needs' 2,800.
Yeah, we actually noticed that most of the lanes coming in here from J2 are winning against their opposing lanes.
And here comes the Equalizer again, coming from Ruin onto Needs, but Needs is a little bit tanky now with that Negatron cloak. And yes, like you said again, got that Magic Resist to counteract the damage coming in from Ruin, and it's actually working well for him, even with the Haunting guys.
Definitely. I mean, we had discussed that it might have been risky. Maybe he should have gotten it a little bit earlier, so he wouldn't have given that kill. But still, great decision from him to negate the poke coming in from Nids. Oh, from Ruin in that top lane.
But as you see right now, there are 3 members of Pacific Esports in the top lane. They are pinging out B-Tomb. They saw him. He doesn't have his Paranoia just yet. Paranoia does have, I believe, 2-minute cooldown level 1. Yeah, so it's a very long cooldown for Pacific to wait a little bit.
Yeah, and actually we can see that Link is a little bit ahead in terms of itemization. He has that enchantment.
And here comes the engage. Lots of damage onto B-Tomb. There's the Solar Flare. Hits nothing. And Ruin gets that kill yet again with the help of his teammates.
They should really be scary now. I mean, Ruin and Zone both scaling pretty well into this mid game, and if they continue to allow it,
and here comes again Link going on to Oni. There's the Chilling Smite. There's the Unstoppable Force by Needs, and the counter engage gives them the kill onto Ruin. And now, oh my gosh, Oni gets bursted down by Betrayal. And now here comes Hack to help out their teammates. 4 members of Betrayal are here and gets the kill onto Needs. And this might be the dragon for them.
Yeah, it was a great response coming in from Nids, but it was a clash in favor of Ruin, and this could possibly transition into a dragon for them.
Actually, they're actually just respecting it right now. That the and Pacific is using, starting off this dragon. Will they disengage or still put the pressure on?
This might be a pretty scary decision coming in from
there's
Pacific.
Zenith Blade on 2! Zone right there. Here comes the follow-up. There's the collateral damage. There's the buckshot. There's the broken shard. There's the seismic slam, I believe.
Everything was there.
Everything was there. There's a beautiful equalizer. Hits. Luxuria forced the flash out of him. And now, who will get the kill? Here comes Oni for the follow-up. Gets the kill onto Link. And that is actually a 3-4-0 already right now. That's a 4-0, and Ruin is in no man's land actually. B-Tomb gets a lot of damage. Will he die? One more hit, but that charm for Oni is real. Saves B-Tomb in just the nick of time.
What a great job coming in here from Pacific Esports to get back into the game. That was almost pretty much an unofficial ace coming in from Pacific Esports at 30 minutes into the game. They were baiting over at that dragon, and I thought it was going to be a scary decision. But like we can see, they decided to bait them into dragon. They decided to engage onto Hack, and he got really low. All comes out from Luxuria, and at this point, it's really great positioning actually here coming in from Pacific Esports. Batum didn't immediately recall. He decides to stay here. Sync trying to put off a little bit of damage, and the 4 members are pretty healthy right now. Nids takes the front line when that equalizer comes down. The heal is there to keep them alive. None of them die. Luxuria is safe, and although the 3 members are here to follow up, Nids soaks up so much damage because he got that Negatron cloak quite early, and then Oni with a follow-up, and they got pretty much the whole team fight there.
Yeah,
great job from them.
Also, that was had to commend Luxuria with that amazing flash. Sync, rocket jump over the wall to try to catch out Luxuria, and then Luxuria just baited out with the flash.
Definitely. So the bait game is real here.
Bait game is real.
Pacific Esports.
And while that is happening, Pacific is again going in on this dragon. So rinse and repeat, like you've said. They're doing it right now, and they're killing the Taunty. No, Taunty, no. Alright, and while that is happening, they are now starting off on this dragon. The dragon is now spitting that fireball onto the Pacific Esports, and here comes a beautiful engage by J2 Betrayal, but another beautiful engage by Pacific. The flag from Oni is real, gets the double kill, and now they are cleaning up shop. Sync taking a lot of damage. That is a 2-for-2 exchange, forced the flash out of Hack there. That has 2 members of J2 Betrayal bleeding for their lives.
Wow, that was a really even exchange, actually, pretty much. It was a 2 for 2, although Sync was alive the whole time. They were able to keep him alive. He was able to position himself so he didn't go down. They were able to take Luxuria down as well.
Also, Oni with a good, amazing flank in the back line.
Definitely.
They didn't see him, and here comes. Go for it.
Yeah, so we're gonna look over at this replay. So we did see the Betrayal started the fight. He went with the Equalizer and Cataclysm combo, but he wasn't able to catch a lot. Sync actually was able to free hit quite a bit there. He was just outside of the Cataclysm. Ruin trying to do what he can, but he's caught in between all of these members. Oni, great positioning again, coming in from him. He's able to do a lot of damage of his own in the back line. And yeah, at this point, it was pretty much an even game. They were able to put a lot of shields onto Sync. Great job from Hack to keep his ADR safe, and then the heal.
Actually,
so even engage.
I just noticed this. Pacific Esports all have dash abilities, so they can get out of the Cataclysm pretty easily. So I didn't see this before, but this is actually going in on their favor. And I can see right now, Oni going in for that charm, Ruin with the God Dodge, but the exhaust is slow, the seismic shard, and that is done. But now Hack, there's the paranoia, there's the solar flare, Hack gets locked up, and then that big ball of hanger from Luxuria kills him down. It's called the collateral
damage. They're doing exactly what we said. They're doing
and repeat.
Yes, they're doing the dives over and over again. They really have to take advantage of this, and it's a great job from them to abuse that composition. They're picking off the members one by one. They're not giving Betrayal a chance to pull off the wombo combo that they need to win fights.
Yes.
And that's definitely what they need to do to get back in this game.
Here comes the engage from J Betrayal, and wow, a 3-man shockwave! There's the beautiful, and gets the steal actually, there's the beautiful Equalizer. Here comes Sync, putting a lot of damage! Now, Pacific is just scattering away from the damage of J2 Betrayal, and that, my friends, is a 4 for 1. Might be an ace. No, Oni just gets away. But wow, Link got the steal.
I was actually afraid that Link came in just a little bit too early. The shockwave came in, but it only hit. Oh well, actually yeah, the shockwave came in. So great job coming in from Betrayal to make use of their team fight. We actually see here he was able to catch 3 members, and then he gets the steal. And after that, they just pretty much abuse their team fight composition. Nearly, I think, a 5-man Equalizer here. Then Ruin comes in.
Yeah.
They're able to take out a member. And at this point, they're pretty much spreading out here. We can see Zone and Ruin are just putting down so much damage. Nids tries to do what he can, but Sync is just so safe right now.
I'm not sure why they tried to counter-engage onto Sync. He was chasing down Luxuria and Oni. And then, like you said before, Ruin, Zone were focusing down onto Need, so a little bit of miscommunication in my opinion. So if they tried to at least try to get him, they could have gotten the kill.
They probably were not expecting that steal there coming in
so
from
they got,
Link.
oh my gosh, we can't do this anymore, I back out.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was miscommunication from them.
Alright, so that was happened. But that was happening, actually, Hack gets the shutdown kill onto Oni. So, wow. Alright, so wow, we can see right now there is a engage onto Sync. Sync there wrong, it jumps away like a boss, and that was a wasted solar flare by Astarte.
Pretty much. They have a lot of disengage options there at that bottom lane, so Astarte needs to be he needs to think really hard when he uses those ults, because it could make or break a team fight if Betrayal decides to make a team fight there at that bottom lane.
This is actually a nice warding coming in from Pacific Esports, that they warded that, let's say, pathway into the jungle, into the bot lane of J2 Betrayal. So if they see that someone's going to try and respond to J2 Betrayal, they're going to see it.
Definitely. I mean, we saw earlier that J2 actually did the better part in making vision around the map. So great job for Pacific Esports to learn from that and put more vision around the map so that they can make those picks that they need to get back in the game.
Here comes the 4-man push by Pacific, and they get that bot tier 1 uncontested. Beatum was there for a little bit of the counter engage. He did have his paranoia, but it wasn't shown. And yeah, they were just trying to see if they could get any more additional picks.
This actually feels a little bit like deja vu, because J2 Esports Betrayal, I think, actually did that as well. Earlier in the bottom lane, they were able to get a lot of members to push down that bottom lane. And rotate as well. So great job for Pacific Esports to learn from that and use it to their own advantage.
Yeah, I believe, that's very true. You can see right now that Betrayal are having none of it. So if you got our bot tier 1, we're going to get your mid tier 1, but here comes the engage. There's a paranoia, there's a solar flare, and there's a beautiful ultimate by Pacific Esports, and now Betrayal are just a little bit scattered here. Sync did get exhausted, so the full damage that he's doing is a little bit mitigated. And needs! There's the nice Zenith Blade, and
wow.
Derek gets the kill. Luxuria gets the kill onto Sink, and then Hack gets the kill onto Luxuria. There you go.
Actually, this is a great job coming in from Pacific Esports to focus the main damage dealers of J2 here. They were able to take out Rumble and Oriana really early.
Yeah.
And then they focused Sync right after. So that was actually great priorities there coming in from Pacific Esports. So
here comes the instant
yeah,
replay.
we'll actually see the replay there. The ult comes in. They're able to dive in. Both team... actually, a lot of ults coming off. But Oni was able to focus and take down Zone. And then Ruin goes out immediately after. So a lot of damage is removed from the team fight that happens. And then Sync is focused soon after. Link is actually getting really low here, so he has to disengage. He flashes out, and then immediately after we see that they decide to go after Sync. He's walking in. It's actually a little bit risky here. And then at this point, I believe the ult from Astardi, oh no, the Zenith Blade comes off. And then Oni comes in with a charm a little bit after. So great job there to decide who to take out first. And even though Betrayal is a team fight composition, better mechanics here coming in from Pacific Esports to take them down.
Also, the pick-off, like we said before, they have the team fight composition, they have the pick-off from Pacific Esports, and they're just capitalizing on this yet again. Rinse and repeat, scrub-a-dub-dub.
Reuse and abuse.
Reuse and abuse. Alright, you can see right now that Link and Hack are trying to get inside the backline of bot tier 1, but yeah, Luxuria just backs off. Alright, so while that is happening, it might be an exchange in the turrets. Bot tier 1 and top tier 1 will be, I believe, destroyed. We'll see. Oh, actually, top tier 1 is a little bit too healthy. So we'll see that Needs is using his very stony hands to break this stone tower. Alright, stone against stone.
We can actually see that Zone is having a lot of CS at the moment, and I've noticed that for the past 2 games that he just played Oriana, he always went for a Void Staff immediately after his Sorcerer's Shoe.
Yeah,
so that's actually quite interesting build path there coming in from him. Usually some mages would build a Void Staff a little bit later, but he decided to go for it as the 3rd item, so that's actually an interesting build path there.
It's not an interesting it is an interesting build. You go in for either the Rabadon's Death Cap if you want the more AP damage, or you could go in for the Void Staff to counteract the, let's say, magic resist that the other team has, and then have a little bit more AP damage. And there, you can see that Link trying to go in a little bit onto Luxuria, but then Pacific Esports has the counter engage. They can breathe through what J2 Betrayal is doing. And here comes the second dragon. This will be again a dragon dance. Who will win this? I think it will be in favor of Pacific Esports, just because, like we've said before, the pickup composition is real for them.
Yeah, Pacific Esports is really learning.
Ooh, here comes the gang onto Oni, but again, the dash away is a... Oh my gosh, he paranoias over the wall. And you can see right there that Ruin gets a double kill. There's a 2-man shockwave. And we can see right now it's a cleanup. Needs will get a lot of damage onto him. Here comes Sync for the... just a tap, and then Ruin gets that, I believe, triple kill. And actually, I believe I saw Link got that paranoia, and then Beaton just followed over the wall. So it's the funny moments, man. It's the great moments that are actually good to watch in LoL. Yung pag habol naman siya over the wall with that. Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, but actually, I want to point out that J2 actually did what Pacific Esports did to them earlier. They were able to take out the main damage dealers, mainly Oni and Luxuria, and after that, Astarte and Nids actually landed really great ults, but just a little bit too late. They were able to both land ults onto 4 members, but by that time, there was no follow-up coming in from Oni and Luxuria, so great job coming in from Betrayal to focus
right
down
now
the main damage
that
dealers.
Luxuria is now getting that red buff given to him in a gift wrapper by B2. So Christmas isn't over.
Yeah, not just yet.
Not just yet. Because right now that Hack is putting a lot of wards for Astarte to try to kill. Will he get it? I believe he won't. Oh, there's the pink ward, and the ward wars are back.
Great job securing that vision ward.
The vision is real, guys. Of course, vision wins you the games.
Yes. And great job actually coming in from Pacific to actually up their vision game this time compared to the first game.
They're actually using a lot of their vision into the entrances of their jungle, being a little bit more respective to what Pacific Esports have, and the same for J2 Betrayal. You can see right there's the engage again. Only forced to use that Spirit Rush, and Astarte is caught in the rock in the hard place. Still has his Solar Flare, gets that 3-man stun. Here's the follow-up by Needs. Here's the follow-up by the Surreal. And that was a double kill by Luxuria. Here comes the shockwave. Only gets Luxuria. Nice dodge there by Needs. I believe an inch more and Needs would have gotten caught out. So very fast response time. And that was I believe, a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Pacific Esports. And here comes the instant replay.
Yeah, let's take a look at that replay. Actually, I want to point out the equalizer was a little bit questionable.
Phew.
It didn't really hit a lot of members, but great job from Nids though, because he shows that he was better at pulling off that ult. He landed it onto 4 members, and then they were able to get a double kill onto Luxuria. And at this point, well, no one really dies at this part. They were able to land 1 shockwave onto Luxuria. But great, actually, like I said, better job coming in from Nids, showing Rumble that he can land a better ult in that team fight
But
there.
you have to give it to Astarte for surviving long enough to release that solar flare and get, I believe, 2-man stun and then a 4-man solar flare. And then Needs just followed up and everything has been put into the history books of the PGS.
Yeah, leaving a gift behind before he goes down.
Yes, very true. Alright, you can see right now that there is a, I believe, 400 gold lead, sorry, 600 gold lead by J2 Betrayal. Here's the solar flare onto Hack. And
no follow-up.
yeah. That's what happened.
Leaving behind more gifts.
Here comes the Ward Wars, guys. It's the most exciting part. When you kill the ward, it actually gives you 1,000 gold. Just kidding.
If only.
If only.
Supports would be the richest champions in the game.
Yes. And while that is happening, again, they're just putting those offensive wards by both teams, and they are just scuttling to try and. I just use the scuttle because, you know, scuttler and yeah, okay. They're scuttling to try and get the vision back. You can see right now the J2 Betrayal. Here comes the deja vu moment. Here comes Needs with the teleport, but there's no engage. Okay.
Yeah, they're not gonna engage on that one.
It was a deja vu moment, I think, before he got that teleport and then went in. Alright, so the pink wards are just staring each other in the face, and Oni will get the better of it.
At this point, things are actually pretty even, so we're seeing a better performance.
Here comes Link on to Oni, and Oni
wow.
gets burst down. Here comes the paranoia. There's Needs with the unstoppable force, but there wasn't any follow-up. They got the burst damage out of the game.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Oni went down so fast, and I think at this point, it's really a matter of who pulls off. Wait, first, it's a matter of who starts the fight, and it's a matter of who pulls off the better fight. Yes. We saw that their Link started the fight, and they were able to burst down Oni so fast, one of the main damage dealers. And like I said, if they're able to continue doing so, taking out the main damage dealers of the game, abusing that team fight composition that they have, they can sweep this game. But what Pacific needs to do is that they can't allow Betrayal here to get what they want, which is the team fights there nearby those towers.
So they have Pacific Esports needs to do is to engage faster, and like you said, whoever gets first the damage dealers wins the team fights.
Definitely. If Betrayal can continue to abuse that team fight composition that they have, maybe get the dragon that's coming in a few seconds, then they could really snowball into a victory.
So it's a 1-for-1 dragon, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, the second dragon is really important because it gives you like extra pushing power, and we're no longer into the lane phase. We're into that team fight phase. We're in on that pushing phase, and now, yes, it will be, I believe, again the dragon dance for both teams. And this is really the action-packed game that we have been waiting for. Pacific and J2 Betrayal, man, are just showing what they are made of.
Yes.
They're made of stone, made of metal, made of wind, I don't know.
It's actually interesting that Pacific Esports has been placing themselves at the dragon all the time first from Betrayal here. So they're really keeping in mind the timers of dragon here.
Here's the equilibrium on to 3 members, but there's Needs with the counter double force. Now Sick is just hitting on Needs, who is taking a lot of damage, but Zone was able to kill B2, and Astarta gets killed by Zone, and that was a 2-for-2 exchange, 3-for-2 exchange, and Oni flashes in to try and get something, but gets nothing. But after that, Luxuria did get the kill, and that was, I believe, a 3-for-4 exchange in favor of J2 Betrayal.
Yeah, we actually saw Nids was trying to reach out for Sync earlier in that game, but she was able to disengage, and then Zone and Sync, being the main damage dealers of their team, they were able to put off so much damage onto the other side, and I think that was what gave them the advantage in that team fight there to make it a 3-for-4.
Yeah, it's actually a nice engage again from J2 Betrayal. They used the equalizer in the perfect time, get I believe a 3-man equalizer and then the knock-up in the Cataclysm. But They Pacific Esports counter engage with needs and putting that unstoppable force on to Sync, and like you said, all is said and done again. PGS history books, and here comes the teleport from Ruin, but he won't be able to get it because B2 was there for, I believe, the smites.
It was a good try.
It was a good try. Yes, but
now that second dragon, actually, like you said, is going to be a really big factor in who will be able to take the game here. That slight advantage in pushing here for Pacific Esports could give them this second game if if Betrayal is not able to pull off team fights to end the game.
Warnings again from J2 Betrayal is, like I said before, if you're actually trying to push in on a turret, you should try to move in your wards with you.
Yes,
and while that is happening, Pacific Esports is doing the right thing as well. If you're not going to be able to push, why not just ward the areas where your enemies will try to push in from?
Yeah, they really have to be good job from them to ward out the members of Betrayal here. Like we said, if Betrayal is able to pull off another amazing wombo combo here, then this could possibly be that point in the game where it's over. But if they continue to put up wards like this, then they can make out picks for themselves, take them out one by one with their great pick composition, and then get the game.
Ooh! Do they see this coming? I don't see. Yes! You will see right now the Pacific will try to go in onto the Baron, and J2 Betrayal is starting to go in on them. Will they be able to achieve it in time? We'll try to see. Baron is super low right now. Here comes Sling to try to get the steal, and let's get the steal. Will he flash over the wall? He doesn't have his flash. Here's the equalizer on the two members. Means it's just taking a lot of damage. Here comes the paranoia from Ruin. Who will he go on? Nobody. There's it on to Ruin. There's the lockup from J2 Betrayal. And now it's just a messy clash. You can see right there that Luxury is putting a lot of damage onto Link. Link and Ruin. And whoa, the burst damage from Zone is real. But while that was happening, he gets a double kill! Oh my gosh, man. The damage. And here is Oni trying to fend off for himself, and I believe that was a 3-4-4 exchange in favor of J2 Betrayal.
If there was a third game, I think Pacific would ban Orianna. Zone is really doing a great job so far on this Orianna. He's been so on point, and his damage is... It's real.
It's real.
So real right now.
It's surreal. Alright, so again... I'm not sure anymore who's going to win this because these two teams have such amazing team fight presence. It's not just the team composition themselves, but rather how they see the team fights. They actually go in for these damage dealers. Both of them are going for the damage dealers to cancel them out, and both of them are canceling each other out. So I believe whoever misses a critical skill shot will lose the game.
Definitely.
So it's like the tipping point of the game right now. It's a seesaw, and whoever is the fattest kid will win. Alright, never mind.
Something like that.
Whoever gets the better of it.
Yeah, but like we were saying earlier, whoever can make a better engage and pull off a better team fight with better priorities will really take the game here. We're seeing that a lot of them are really trying to focus Sync, but I think they also have to respect the damage coming in from Zone. Definitely.
Yeah,
he has so much damage, and even if Sync wasn't there, Oni was able to put... Zone. Zone was able to put out so much damage, so they really have to respect the damage coming in from Zone at this mid-game, which is pretty much where Orianna rises.
Yeah, he's becoming the burst mage, or Orianna. I was supposed to say Aurelia, but it's like... what? Alright, never mind, it's the Orianna. As for that, Oni, he does have the damage, but he doesn't have... let's say the breathing room to go in onto those ganks, onto those engagers.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying earlier that Oni was having great positioning at the start of the game, but we've noticed that Betrayal has started to respect the damage coming in from Oni. That's why we saw that earlier Link just EQ'd into Oni and then bursted her in a matter of seconds. So they've really focused onto Luxuria and Oni here, and I think what they have to do really is, if they can't pull off those great team fights because J2 has a better team fight composition, then they can decide rather to put more vision over at the jungle and then really abuse the assassination potential they have here coming in from the Ahri and Nocturne.
Also, what I'm seeing that Pacific can actually do right now is that you said before that the damage dealers are the ones who are being focused, right? So they could try to bait in someone like Oni or Luxuria to get dove in by someone from J2 Esports, and then someone like Astarte can try and counter engage and try to save Luxuria or Oni, and then B2 uses the paranoia, blinds everyone, needs for the follow-up CC, and then that might be the opening that Pacific Esports might do. As for J2 Betrayal, if, like we said before, they have that awesome team fights composition.
The accent.
The awesome. Alright, so if they get that awesome team fight composition, team fight that they need, the follow-up from Link onto Ruin's Equalizer, then the Shockwave from Zone, and that's all is said and done. So, again, it's all about who doesn't get that important skill off onto the other team.
Yeah, and actually that, like you said, that was actually a really possible strategy for Pacific Esports. Like you said, most of them have dashes, so they can mostly escape from the engage coming in here from Betrayal. So, like you said, since they're focusing on Oni so much, if she can happen to bait and force J2 to make a bad decision, she can dash out, and then, like you said, counter engage coming in from Astarte to make a counter team fight to the team fight potential coming here from J2. They could really take the game.
Yes. Alright, so while we are taking a short pause break, again, we would like to invite you guys to the Garena Talk. PGS Rift Garena Talk. Again, the ID is Amplifier, please.
171-888-11.
That's 171-888-11.
Yeah, the family is really huge now.
Yeah, I believe
PGS Rift has really grown.
We have an average of 30 to 40 people daily, and then it spikes up to 90 to 100 when the PGS GPL is live.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to commend the people who join over at the PGS Rift. One, for supporting us, of course, and second, because I've actually really liked the community. I mean, ever since I started joining over at the custom games that they make there, it feels like a healthy atmosphere coming in from the members of Rift. So great job from you guys to really spread the love to all the Rift members here. So good job, guys.
Yes. Also, again, after this game, this is game 2 in set 1. So watch and win.
Yes, the most anticipated.
The most anticipated. Not actually the most anticipated. One of the anticipated moments of the PGS, wherein first 5 correct commentators will be able to get that sweet 500 RP to buy skins, to buy rune page drum bundles.
Yes.
Champions that you want if you don't want to use your IP because you're saving it up for something else better.
Yeah, and actually, it's a pretty good time to invest in RP now because I checked the news over at NA, and I think at the start of this season, they're going to have a sort of sale. So some of the runes are going to go on sale. There's going to be a 2-for-1 rune page bundle thing going on. So actually, this is the perfect time for you guys to go after that watch and win, and then go for the sale. You guys can really get a lot.
Actually, for me, what I'm hoping to go on for the sale is the legacy skins. Yung mga skins before Season 1, Season 2 that have been locked into the vault of Summoner's Rift, wherever that vault is.
I hope Riot brings them out sometime.
Yeah, so I could buy it, because those are, they're not the best looking skins, but ano siya eh, parang nostalgic feeling when you use them.
Yeah, I believe there was a brown and purple legacy skin bundle that just came out recently.
But hindi yung hinahanap ko. I'm still looking for something else. So we'll see.
Yeah, so again, great timing if you get the watch and win this time.
Alright, so again guys, we would like to invite you to our Twitter and Instagram account. Again, that is at PGSLOL. So if you want to see the behind the scenes of what the GS's, GG's, or other members of the Garena family are doing, you can check it out. Of course, we also post in our, I believe, yung para mga loading screen matches. For example, there's GM Rob versus against the other PGS Rifters. You can check it out. Also, our PGS Rift official page in Facebook. Just search it, and it'll appear right in front of you. It's an open group. It's not secret. We're not afraid to show our true colors, because our true colors are actually caring, supporting, and loving.
Yes. Like we said earlier, the Rift family is really something.
Yes.
So, really no disadvantage or no loss if you join this group.
And now we are back into the game. 33 minutes in. Still, the balance has not been, the tipping point has not been put into any one of these teams. It's still either or who will win this.
So they really have to be careful, and I think the team that creates the best decisions here would really take the game. And
here comes Link onto Astarte. Link with that passive. You bursts down Astarte from full 2 by 1/4 damage. There we go.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I think it really depends on who is able to make the better decisions. Earlier in Game 1, we saw that J2 was able to create so many great rotations. They were able to make a lot of great decisions in the first game. But we see now that Pacific Esports has learned from that, and they're making great decisions as well. We saw that they're putting in more vision. They were arriving at the Dragon all the time when it came up on the timer. So, and their team fights and picks have also been great as well. So whoever can make the better, or whoever has the better shot caller, I guess, here, and better synergy in those team fights and picks will really take this game.
Also, this is what I like about these kinds of compositions. Let's say I'm just looking for those team compositions that go in for the team fights, and this is what I got. J2 Betrayal with this heavy AoE team composition, and then Pacific Esports with this pick off but still awesome team composition.
They're really explosive team compositions here.
Pretty explosive team compositions for both teams. And here comes the start against the Howling Gale. Here comes Link 40 knockup, but will he get caught up? Here's the paranoia from Needs, and there's the Rumble equalizer. Gets a little bit. Here comes the Mafia on to a starter, but there's the lockup from Needs. Then Zone and Oni. Here comes the damage, and there's a nice Shockwave, and just the follow-up is just making me dizzy right now. Here comes Oni for the damage onto Hack. So it was the follow-up by Needs onto Oni's damage, Solar Flare into the Salvage Force, and that was a 3-4-2 exchange in favor of Pacific Esports.
Dude, the explosiveness is so
confusing.
Real right now.
There's a lot of action, like everybody's just not giving up right now.
But I want to point out that it's like they heard you when we were giving them solutions or possible ways to win the game. We're gonna look over at the replay right now. We see that the equalizer was used, so they wanted to make it worth it. He puts down the Cataclysm, but Astarte flashes out, so the Cataclysm is actually a bit useless at this point. Then Nids lands the 3-man ult. Astarte follows up with their own ult as well. And then at this point in the game, they're all trying to do what they can. All the skill shots and everything are coming out. But Zone, again, with the damage, he puts down a lot of damage. Niz gets really low as well. And then the Shockwave lands. And at this point, I really want to point out that it's quite dangerous that Pacific came up and on top in this team fight. Because the equalizer was not able to land onto too many members there. And I think it was a little bit too forced a team fight coming from Betrayal. I mean, the equalizer missed. They tried to make it worth it with the Cataclysm, but he didn't catch a lot, so they weren't able to land their Wombo combo, and it really went, it wasn't a major lead, but it slightly went in favor of Pacific.
Yeah. I believe that if you're going to use the equalizer for an engage, you have to use it in a tight spot rather than in that big gap in the
narrow lanes.
Yes, the narrow lanes. Because right now that they are both of them are love tapping Dragon, and Dragon resetting. There's the equalizer, there's the Solar Flare, he comes into the backside, but Sync is now able to put a little bit of damage on them. There's the lockup by Astarte, and there's the ultimate coming out of Zone, and we could see that is a 1-for-1 exchange, and now Ruin is going on to B2 right now. Here comes Oni, misses that charm, and again, super close team fights.
Yeah.
But the second Dragon buff, I believe, will be taken by Betrayal. Yeah, this is their second Dragon buff, but this is the 4th Dragon spawn. There we go.
Yeah, this is gonna make things just it's gonna make things
look at this, man,
more even.
4 tower kills, 33 kills, and the goal lead is not that far behind.
I have a feeling this is gonna be a pretty long game.
Yes, 60, 70 minutes. This is starting to look like that way.
Yeah, I mean, and with that second Dragon buff, they made things just a little bit more even as well. Like you were saying, second Dragon buffs are really important because they help with the pushing that you need to end the game. And now both of them have the Dragon buff, so I don't know who's gonna win, honestly, at this point. Yeah. But like I said earlier, when Pacific Esports was able to get a slight lead in that team fight, if they can continue to, like we said, rinse and repeat that kind of lead and get on top of the team fight composition that J2 has, then they're gonna win.
Ruin is getting a lot of damage from Astarte and B2. Will he survive? There's the super mega shield from Hack and the Solari. Yeah, he has super mega shield. He has those 2 shields. But still, damage was just enough to kill Ruin, and this might be that Pacific opportunity to go in and get that top tier 2.
Yeah, that pick was exactly what I was looking for here, coming in from Pacific Esports. They have a great composition here to make picks and single out targets. So they were able to take down Rumble who is such an important presence in a team fight. If they decide to make another team fight after this, while Rumble is absent, this could be the chance that they need to get into the lead and possibly end the game.
Yes, and now Baron is live, and Pacific Esports are now getting it. And yes, we can see right now that J2 Betrayal will try to do something. Ruin doesn't have his teleport, so this is a 5v4. Will they get ahead of this? I guess they're trying to just be able to disengage the fight and stop that Baron. Will Pacific Esports continue? I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, they had to respect the team fight of Betrayal, even if Ruin wasn't there. But I think it would have been favorable if they had decided to engage. But because Betrayal has so many disengage options, they have the Monsoon, the Howling Gale, and Link can pretty much flag and drag out of anywhere. So
yeah, also Shockwave is a disengage tool as well.
Yeah.
If you position it correctly.
Yeah, so it makes things a little bit more difficult for Pacific here to get a lead.
Yes, and while that was happening, the Monster Wave in the bot lane gets that tier 2 turret, and here comes Oni getting a little bit caught. Whoa, so much damage onto him! There's the equalizer, forced the flash out of Oni. I believe that was a successful engage.
Yeah.
Did have to use that equalizer, but Oni uses his flash.
Yeah, and now in a team fight, Oni's gonna be really unsafe because she had to pop the ult, the Zhonya's. So now she's really unsafe.
Yeah, he only has that Spirit Rush to be able to get zip in, zip out of that flash. Here comes B2, a little bit over aggressive. The Solar Flare doesn't hit anyone. Hits everyone, but no stun. A little bit of engage here. They're hammering down onto the tanks. Here comes Luxuria for the cloud damage. Here comes Oni. Doesn't get the damage onto Zone because of that. Zhonya's but Zone using that. Oh my gosh, uses that Shockwave. Gets 2-man Shockwave. Oni is getting killed here by Sync. And again, what's happening? We can see that B2 will die to Sync. And Neat is alone. And that is, I believe, a 2-for-4 exchange in favor of J2 Betrayal. There's just so much action. I can't believe it's happening.
Wow, what a team fight there. I mean, I'm not so sure what Beatum had decided to do. He ulted in after they had secured the Baron. I'm not
They
sure.
tried to engage. I think he tried to use the paranoia and not show Astarte was in the vicinity, try and get that solar flare and try to get a stun. But then J2 Betrayal just dispersed so immediately. And here comes Please break it down for us.
We'll take a look at that replay. So we saw the Batum went in earlier, then Nids comes off with the ult. Oni gets a little bit bad positioning, but he had the Spirit Rush, so he could slightly save himself. And then Sync, at this point, was able to free hit quite a lot. Nids is not able to assassinate him. He ults him away, in fact. And then the 2-man Shockwave comes in. He's able, onto the 2 main damage dealers. Yes. So that was really important. And then Sync, at this point, puts off so much damage. He's able to free hit because Nids wasn't able to lock onto him earlier. And like I said, whoever has the better priorities here in the game is able to win those team fights and get the lead. And in this clash, it was definitely Betrayal that had the better team fight and mechanics there.
Yeah, it's because they burned a lot of the ultimates that Pacific Esports needed. They needed that solar flare for the engage, but they already used it a little bit before. And of course, again, B2's Paranoia was used before, again, trying to engage. But yeah, like I've said before, it was J2 Esports with the J2 Esports with the team fight win.
I mean, if Oni had his Zhonya's and Flash, maybe
here comes again damage. Here comes B2 onto Zone, and we can see this 5v5 clash. Oh, nice one seen there by Hack. Force the flash out of Zone there. He will get a straight Shockwave, and Sync is here for the follow-up damage. And it's now again going in favor of J2 Esports Betrayal. What is happening? That is a clean ace.
Wow.
And they have the Baron buff, and this might be the game for J2 Esports. All the cooldown timers are 40 seconds and above. I believe this is good game, well played by J2 Esports Betrayal. Yeah.
Pacific Esports started the fight and now they regret it. That was such a great team fight coming in again from J2 Esports Betrayal. They were able to great synergy coming in from them. They were able to land a slight wombo combo, I guess. I mean, here, we're going to take a look at the team fight. Batum comes in. He wants to start the fight. Nids is there as well. All members are here. They want to take down Zone, who, like we said, really they should respect with the damage. And then Zone is able to land a little bit later. I mean, great job here from Hack to disengage the members. And then Zone flashes out, he puts down his Q, and eventually he lands a 3-man shockwave, putting down so much damage, and then Ruin full health. He's able to put out so much damage as well. And at this point, it's pretty much clean up. They're able to get all the kills here in this team fight. Sync again, so safe, so much disengage and engage options here coming in from J2, and with such a great balance here coming in from J2 and mechanics as well, they win the team fight in the game.
Such a beautiful monsoon coming out of Hack there.
Definitely.
Wow, he did a split. Yeah, it's like a split sandwich or a banana split.
Great job from them. So again, great job from J2 Esports Betrayal to sweep this best of 2 on this first set of the game today. So they now have gotten 3 points. We're going to take a look at the standings. So we can see here, Zone definitely one of the carries of the game. He got 13 kills in the game, and Tristana as well with 9 kills.
30 assists and Link with 34 assists. So everything has been in the team fights. Every one of these guys all on those 5v5s, and that's what I love with these team compositions. It's all about the team fights.
The explosive fights.
Explosive fights. The awesome Alacias Muchachos fights. Alright guys. So up next, it will be Imperium Pro Team Blue versus Naga Esports. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. But before that starts, we have again, guys, the Watch and Win promo of the PGS.
Definitely.
So alright, so where is our question for the game today?
Yeah, actually, just again to point out the mechanics. So the Watch and Win is going to work this way. Again, you have to go over to the Pro Gaming Series Facebook page, and you're going to have to wait for our signal. And then when we make the signal, you're going to have to look at the post over at the Facebook page. The question is going to be there, and then the first 5 people comment over at that post on the Pro Gaming Series page will get a chance to win 500 RP. So here we go. We're going to give the question to you guys. Asarai, do the honors.
So before that happens, please, Amplifier, give us a drum roll. Alright guys, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In game 1, how many aces occurred? Ooh. So again guys, in game 1, how many aces occurred?
Very simple question.
Lahat ng aces. So J2 Esports Betrayal plus Pacific Esports' aces all together.
Yes.
Alright, so
the total number of aces, how many happened? Go over to the Pro Gaming Series Facebook page now, and the first 5 commentators on that post there for Watch and Win will win the 500 RP.
Also guys, Pro Gaming Series Facebook page. Okay, that's facebook.com/ProGameSeries. Kasi minsan again, they saswagan sila sa stream and on the PGS Rift official page.
Yes, please don't answer anywhere else but the Pro Gaming Series Facebook page, and also don't edit your answers.
Yes, okay, alright. So again, we would like to thank Trippy Customs for our Pro Gaming Series jackets. So coming up soon is the black.
Yes,
the sleek. The black is back.
So if you guys wanna inquire about their services, seeing these awesome jackets here, do go over to their Facebook page. That is www.facebook.com/trippycustoms.
Yes. So guys, we will take a few short moments off the break. So and when we get back, it will be again Naga Esports versus Imperium Pro Team Blue in a best of 2 series in week 5 of the Pro Gaming Series 2015 spring season. To reintroduce ourselves, I am GS Asarai with an I, and alongside here with me is
GS Amplifier.
And we will be right back.